Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. Back at it with another video. Today, we're going to be simulating a 24-team college football playoff. Let's waste no time and let's get into the format of this playoff. Number 1, there are 24 teams in this thing. Number 2, all 10 conference champions are in this playoff. Number 3, there are 14 at-larges. Number 4, all games will be played on campus until we get to the national championship. And number 5, there will be reseeding. So let's get right into the bracket. The 8 teams that are getting a bye are the 1 seed, Indiana, the 2 seed, Ohio State, the 3 seed, Georgia, the 4 seed, Texas Tech, the 5 seed, Oregon, the 6 seed, Ole Miss, the 7 seed, Texas A&M, and lastly, the 8 seeded Oklahoma Sooners. Those are your 8 teams getting a bye. Now, you'll have number 9, Alabama, against the lowest seed, the Pac-12 champions, Washington State. You have the 10 seed Miami Hurricanes facing the MAC champion, the Western Michigan Broncos. The 11 seed, that's Notre Dame. They're taking on the Mountain West champion, Boise State Broncos. Got 2 Broncos in here. The 12 seed, it's BYU. They're taking on Duke, the ACC champions. The 13 seed, well, it's Arch Manning in Texas, and they're taking on the Conference USA champion, Kennesaw State Owls. The 14 seed, it's Vanderbilt, and they're taking on the Sun Belt champion, James Madison Dukes. The 15 seed, well, it's the Utah Utes, and they're hosting the American champion, the Tulane Green Wave. The last team with a home game in the first round, well, it's the USC Trojans in a former Pac-12 matchup where they will face the Arizona Wildcats, and that is exactly where we will start. And depending on what region we're in the country, basically if we're not in a hot climate, I'm going to put random weather on. We're just gonna go clear weather. And out comes bro on the horse. I got the audio to work. I can hear the damn game now. Let's go. Oh, they're booing them. You'd never see Memorial Coliseum this full unless it was a home playoff game like this. Doesn't matter who they're playing, they just don't show up. Although they've had some pretty decent atmospheres this year. And yeah, basically how this will work is we'll just simulate through the quarters, kind of see what's going on. And then if it's a close game in the fourth quarter, we will look. And as we enter this fourth quarter, you can see that USC has entered the red zone. Now, I will say they gotta fix this stadium thing. Like, I'm not the only person who I've seen complain about this on YouTube. It's so freaking annoying.
Biggest piece of dog
Do it
shit.
exactly how it is in Dynasty mode, because that wastes so much time on the clock. But anyways, here comes Jaden Mayava, Malachi Lemon, I think that's his name, or is it Makai Lemon? I'm blanking right now. But they're gonna get the big stop there. USC trying to take the 10-point lead. The pass is complete. Out to the 5-yard line. Mayava having a pretty solid game. God, that band sounds crispy as hell. I forgot what band it was that they got to record this. Maybe it was Auburn, I think. But damn, fire sounds. Mayava back to throw again. There's pressure. He gets the ball out, and they are going to likely settle for the field goal here, although with Lincoln Riley, you know they could go for it here. And yeah, no, they're settling for the field goal. Kicker's out there, and one thing I noticed about this game, it just slows down. Oh, it didn't do it that time. Well, anyways, they're going to take the 6-point lead instead of the 10-point lead, so it's still a 1-possession game. Fans are all hyped for it. It's a next-gen game, and the fans look like doo-doo. Is that really where they keep their marching band? I know where we stuck them at Reser Stadium, and it was disrespectful. Yeah, here comes Mayava and the boys. They're going to try to seal this game. It's an offsides penalty, I believe. Yeah, it's showing the player more than likely getting 2.5 yards out of this. Yep, offsides. There we go. Speed option. Mayava, it's not going to work. Mayava back to throw again. The pass is incomplete. All of a sudden, we're at 3rd and goal. Mind you, a field goal does get them to a 2-possession game. A touchdown, and all of a sudden, you are cooking. You are talking about a 2-touchdown game. Arizona would really have to shape up. Mayava back to throw again. It's picked. It's picked by the Arizona defender. He's on the run. He might be going on down a distance. Oh, they're going to catch him. That is a good saving tackle, or else that could have been a 100-yard pick six, and that would have been a disaster for this team. And they got this cool little, like, thing that they poke the football with. That's pretty sick. And here we are, 4th down and 1. We will see if USC is going to go for this. They might just trot the field goal team back on and make it a 2-possession game. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. But that is a big score here late in this football game. Kicker drills it, not even really a question. Can Noah Fifita convert this 4th down and keep the Wildcats' hopes alive? Fifita to throw. He reaches for the 1st down, and they're going to give it to him. And it's not even up for review. They are just going to give him that 1st down. I don't know if he made that. And they fail on the 4th and 1. I just thought they were going to get it. And all of a sudden, USC has the ball. And the game is going to end, and USC is going to win this football game 23-14 and advance to the next round. So that was an entertaining first game of our bracket. Now, let's move to the next game. And yeah, we're headed to Rice Eccles here in Salt Lake City, Utah. But here we are in Rice Eccles. It's Swoop. I met the guy in real life. He's cool. Met the man under the mask. Even cooler. And this is a crazy stadium to go to. Just everything I've seen about it is just that this is a sick stadium. And out come the Utes representing the Big 12 Conference at large against the American Conference champions, the Tulane Green Wave. They are ready for this fight. And one video I watched that I thought was pretty cool was this girl. She was breaking down the Hunger Games and basically where the capital possibly is. And she was saying it's probably Salt Lake City, and how Rice Eccles Stadium could very well be what Suzanne Collins was describing in the book as the arena, even though in the movie it's an indoor like opera arena. Now comes Bird Ficklin in this Utah offense. Might be a little hurt. He's kind of stretching them muscles out. I guess we're not really doing injuries because I don't want to keep track of that. And he just runs straight into the corner blitz. He had no shot there. Bailey coming around the corner. 7 tackles, now a sack. And Swoop's like, what the hell, man? He falls over on the ground. I really like Tulane's uniforms. It kind of looks like the Portland State team builder that I made. And I got to show that off because they are the most fire uniforms I've ever seen. The lefty, he's going to be brought down again for another sack. This time it's Maurice. And it's 3rd and a mile for this Utah offense to try to overcome this massive, massive pickle that they're in. Am I the only one who thinks that the Kansas mascot, the Jayhawk, looks like the Vlasic Picklebird? I feel like the Picklebird's like a stork or something, but not a Jayhawk. Run. There goes Bird Ficklin. He is not going to cross the line of scrimmage. He is going to find a receiver, and they are going to get it all the way down to the 5-yard line as we have an injured Blue Wave. Is that what their name is? Green Wave. Now it's 1st and goal from the 6. What a way to extend the play by Bird Ficklin there.
Watch this.
Oh, damn, their running back, Wayshawn's having quite the game. 114 yards. I freaking love that little cowbell thing. The ding, 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 ding.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Ding, ding. All right, anyways, he's lining up under center. We got a fullback, good old clean old-fashioned football. The lefty, he's going to hit the flat, and it's going to be an immediate tackle, a loss for 5 yards. This time by Jaheim. He's going to punch the referee. You are not allowed to do that, Jaheim Johnson. You cannot do that. He should be ejected from the game. On the flat, and he's going to find the end zone, and they have now a chance to take the lead. He's going to do my favorite dance in the game. Hey, 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 get it. Ah, he's a legend. All right. And Swoop is happy about this right here. Game leading PAT here. It is through the uprights. Yeah, here comes Duke. Not Duke. I keep thinking of Darian Mensah and Duke. Tulane, he's going to find a man down to the 10, and now all of a sudden, 2 minutes left in the game. 17-16. They kind of are in control here. Doesn't mean that Utah's not going to get a chance to come back in this game, but Tulane has to like where they're at. They maybe got into the red zone a little early. They would probably have liked to be able to get a 1st down before hitting 1st and goal right here. Like if they were at the 13, then they could get to the 3, and all of a sudden you make Utah use all their timeouts, but they'll take it. Score's a score. Down to the 5-yard line. What's Jake Retzlaff? That's who their quarterback is. Okay. He's going to try to win a game here in Rice Eccles like Justin Herbert in 2016. And there is the receiver in the end zone. Touchdown. Green Wave. John Summerall making some noise here. And he's going to do the dance. A. A, A, A. Nice. 3rd down and 5. See what Bird Ficklin does. And see, this is where it becomes annoying because the clock is just running out and all we're doing is watching this Jumbotron. Nothing's happening. And then they lose 20 seconds off the clock. They have 30 seconds. Bird Ficklin finds a man. He's in bounds, and you can't do anything. We're just going to sit here and watch the clock expire. Poor game management here by Kyle Whittingham. Number one, congrats on a wonderful career for Kyle Whittingham, the best Utah coach of all time, and that includes Urban Meyer. That's just my opinion. I mean, he got them 2 Pac-12 championships. He got them to be nationally relevant on a yearly basis, where Urban, yeah, he was the first one to get them there, I would say, but he was definitely not the one to keep them there. Bird Ficklin, this is basically it. Hail Mary attempt. He's got all the time in the world. He is going to run across the line of scrimmage, and he is going to run out of bounds like an idiot. And I cannot believe that's how Tulane is going to win this game. And we have our first upset as the 18-seeded Tulane Green Wave. They are going to be, at least right now, the team that would have to go face Indiana because we're doing reseeding. And we will have a group of 6-member advancing into the second round. Vanderbilt is only an 82 in the play now mode on this game. That is criminal. As the flying Barton Simmons, the Vanderbilt Commodores, here they are. Nashville, home of Josh Pate. Shout out to that guy. Well, the amount of times, whoa, that scared me. The freaking horn. Alonzo Barnett, the amount of times this dude won the Heisman in college football, 25, is insane. I haven't seen him do it much in this game, and that is an easy touchdown right down the gut. They're saying, we're not out of it yet. Can't count us out, and all the Vanderbilt fans are like, oh no. As with 6 minutes, 1st and 10 from the 14, James Madison can take the lead on this game, possibly pull off our second upset, and then all of a sudden they become the team that would have to go face Indiana. And that's a oh my god, I can't even talk. Touchdown, James Madison, and Knight is going to salute the crowd and say, thank you for your service hosting this game, but you're done. That is a weird-ass mascot. Like, non-derogatory. That dude is funny looking. Now, I'm no genius, but they punted on the last one when there was about 4 minutes left. Vanderbilt cannot punt on this 4th and 14. Diego Pavia and the boys, they need this first down, or else this game's over. Yep, here they go. They're trotting out, and it's the 2-minute warning, which means guess what? Oh, it actually knows how to cut to the actual game instead of showing us the stadium the whole time. Pavia. He's going to sling it. He's going to find a receiver, and he's going to drop it. And all of a sudden, Vanderbilt, well, now they need to make a big stop here. Alonzo Barnett back to throw. First down essentially wins them the game. Barnett, he has all the time in the world in the pocket. He's going to hit the flat, and he's going to only get a few yards. We have a flag on the play. We will see what it is. Illegal touching. 28 seconds, 3rd and 7. The door's feeling the pressure. It's kind of like when someone opens the back door and they're the front door. Pavia, he's going to throw the ball away, and all of a sudden, 4th and 7. This is the game right here. And Pavia airing it out deep. He catches the ball. 1st and goal. They might just kick the field goal here. We'll see what happens. But in a miraculous thing, I didn't even realize what I just saw. Like, the excitement should have been much higher. Timeout by James Madison. And the biggest kick of this kicker's life to send him to the second round of the college football playoff. Sweet 16, slow motion, kick is up, and the kick is good. 16 seconds. Will James Madison be able to do anything about this? And he's doing push-ups. Well, I don't know much about his arm, but I don't think it's a big one. And they get 6 yards. 5 seconds to get down all the way. 75 yards. Can it be done? Knowing this game, no, because there's no lateral trickery. They're just going to try to throw a Hail Mary. He sends it up. And the ball is incomplete. And Vanderbilt, off of a miraculous catch, is going to survive and advance to the next round of the college football playoff. 19-17. They did what they needed to do to survive. Pavia had a pretty bad game, but that doesn't matter. They get to move on to the next round. And look at this catch. Just a beauty of EA animation magic. I was about to say that's a good catch, but that's just the game being silly. Oh, he's scary. They're all kind of scary. I mean, it's just kind of those two that were on the right there, but they look weird. And we've got a drone show. The Longhorn is up there in the sky. There's Bevo. I like that commercial where Bevo like runs into the thing and the guy with the cowboy hat falls down. There's Sark. He's probably like, there's a few coaches in this game that just, their face scans are insane, and Sark is one of them.
Wow.
And yeah, there was nothing to say about this game. Texas just kicked ass the entire time. 44-7, two 17-point quarters. The second and fourth, they just knew what they were doing. Look at that guy, 88. He's scary. And I know they all have the same like just talking animation if they're in that point singing their alma mater, but like it looks so scary. Now we get to go to a place of true beauty. One of the prettiest scenes in college football. And we are headed to Provo. Look at those mountains. They're even pretty in the game. Home of Mormon U, also known as BYU. There's Cosmo. That guy likes to jump on tables. He likes to be crazy. There's Kalani Sitake. He loves to refuse Penn State's offer and accept that crumble cookie money. We got a red zone trip. We will finally see some action. Darian Mensah, Manny Diaz, and the crew. Just an underrated team. They lost some weird games, but I love Manny Diaz. Darian Mensah is a stud at quarterback. The run is going to be successful, and they're going to be all the way to the 15. Nate Shepard, 130 yards on the ground today. He's having himself a pretty decent game here. I missed my meeting at 4:20. Gonna have to go back and do that. Read option. Mensah's going to keep it. He is going to go and slide all the way down to the 4-yard line. 7 carries for 27 yards. Mind you, that includes sack yardage, so he's probably having a pretty decent game on the ground. Mensah, the screen. That's an easy touchdown for Duke. And just like that, they have taken the lead. Darian Mensah to Mr. Castle. And there's the devil in the holy place. Wonder how they feel about that. We saw this a couple games ago with Vanderbilt. They were able to pull it off. They had that big catch over the middle that I didn't really react to. But I promise, if number 47, the Bear, Bachmeier, can get this done, I will lose it. The true freshman, he steps back to throw. He's going to heave it up deep. It's a one-on-one opportunity, and it's another catch. It is another catch. Bear Bachmeier all the way to his receiver, Kingston, and all of a sudden, we have ourselves a game. Bro, my left contact is having itself a day. They really got 4, 7, 8 American flags out there? I doubt it. They probably have like the state flag or like something like that. Or maybe like the flags of each of the universities that BYU has, because I know they have a zillion of them. Bachmeier keeping the ball himself, trucking the defender. Negative 13 yards. He is an absolute tank out there. Oh, Bachmeier. What was that?
What?
He had a clear first down and he just decided to huck it into the end zone for no reason. I'm not sure what his game plan was there, but he did something. Bachmeier back to throw again, and he's going to be brought down by the Duke defender. And knowing how this game works, they are not going to be able to get the chance to go back here and win this game because, look, the clock is running out, and there's going to be some sort of accelerated clock, and the Cougar is crashing out. He's on the floor, losing his ever-loving mind. It's 5 seconds. We are sitting here watching this, and they're not going to get the snap out. 2, 1, 0. Game's over. BYU is going to lose that game off of a sack. Just like that, we have another upset. Duke, now the team that is more than likely going to play Indiana in the second round. And we've got ourselves a snow game as Jesus looks over in the Irish marching band, which guess what? They sound incredible. You can see they've got their playoff jerseys on, showing off their names, and they're going to play like a champion today. Obviously, in real life, they dodged their bowl game. Here comes Boise State, also known as Alexander Tubner University. Notre Dame with the ball in the red zone under heavy snow. Running back's gonna motion out wide into the slot. And yeah, CJ Carr just gets brought down by the defender. And he's just like, ah, damn, what happened? But that's okay, because here he comes back. It's Carr, back to throw. He's gonna get the ball out, and it's gonna be dropped in that slippery, cold snow. How y'all feel about juicy fruit gum? Because I think it's delicious. Here comes CJ Carr. stepping up in the pocket. He's going to find his receiver, and it's not going to go in. And all of a sudden, I think they're going to go for it here, even though it's pretty early in the fourth. Marcus Freeman seems like the type of guy to do that, but knowing me, I'll be dead ass wrong. But yeah, they're kicking the field goal. Okay. Kick is up. Snow does not seem to affect it. It's now a 3-point ball game. But Boise State doing what Boise State does, and that is upsetting the powerhouses in the postseason. And this is a pivotal third down for the Boise State offense in this Notre Dame Fighting Irish defense. We will see if they can get the stop. And if they don't, Boise State's probably going to walk out here with the upset, and then they're going to be the team that plays Indiana. Knowing that, we're going to see a major upset of the 8 or 9 seed. And as you can see, the clock's running down. We're watching the heavy snow pour, and we get to watch as Notre Dame runs out the clock and doesn't get this play off. Because that is what always happens in the play now. 5 seconds. They're not going to get this play off. 3, 2, 1, and the game is over. Notre Dame loses off of EA's lack of fixing this problem. And all of a sudden, Boise State becomes the third team to upset somebody. And like Marcus Freeman, look at his face scan. That shit is clean. 6'7". All right, we have 2 programs that during the 14 playoff era had like 1 year where they were good. But here comes Miami, where they have the cool looking duck that's not as cool looking as the Oregon one. In Western Michigan, they made it to a New Year's Six bowl. I think they played USC in one of those games. Could be wrong. And they lost. But look at Miami. I talk about them not being clutch, and all of a sudden they get a crucial face mask called on them, and then we get to see their Jumbotron. But they have a chance to make it 24-9, and all of a sudden that becomes a very, very different game. I'm obsessed with it saying "Go Team." Does it really say that in the stadium? Because that's so generic and that's so funny. And I know it's because like the Dolphins play here too, but that's funny. I don't know much about these. About Miami. Oh, that's a good run up the gut there by old Mark Fletcher. He's not having the best game. 21 carries, 93 yards. It's not bad, but that's like a traditional bell cow style game. But a touchdown here for Miami would really make things comfortable for them. And would put Western Michigan kind of with their backs against the wall. It's a spin and it's a touchdown, and he just made the Bronco defense look crazy. And there's that dance. Hey, get it. This little thing, and he's gonna pop, yeah. And yeah, this game is not going to be close really in the end. Miami really had control that entire time, and they will advance to the second round. And now the matchups are starting to kind of take shape. Now all Alabama has to do is beat Washington State. But if you saw that game against Ole Miss, you know that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Because Wazoo, they can whip out some random game where they're good just off the top of their dome. And the lights are off here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where it's Saban Field, led by Coach DeBoer. And there's our favorite elephant. That's a cool band formation. Oh, it says Roll Tide. I like that.
Wow.
And yeah, there is nothing to really cover here. Alabama put belt to ass, as you can see. A 21-point second quarter really put that thing away. And then the 14-point, oh God, he's so scary. And it's time for some second round football as we have the number 1 team in the nation, Curt Cignetti, Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman winner, and this studly number 1 Indiana team taking on the number 22 seed, lowest seed left, the Boise State Broncos. They just beat a team from Indiana. Can they do it again? Boise State, the Giant Killers. Indiana, the Unlikely Giants.
Wow.
And yeah, this game, I mean, Indiana had control of it the entire time. There wasn't really anything to say. Boise State didn't really ever claw back. So that's going to do it. Just like that, Indiana going to move on to the Elite Eight in their first playoff appearance. We'll get to take our first look at the defending national champions, starting out with the best band in the land. It is the Ohio State Marching Band. It is Ryan Day and the squad, led by Julian Sayin, the Heisman finalist. And there's our drum major. He's going to go and do some crazy stuff. Ryan Day's face scan is pretty decent in this one, too. I think it, like, kind of works. I also love how beautifully detailed that mouthpiece is and how the sousaphone looks like a freaking Lego. Did you see that motion he just did? I'm not trying to be a brain rot channel, but You can't avoid the 6-7. It's everywhere. And here we are in the fourth quarter. It's only a 7-point game. Ohio State has been kind of held in check. And of course, the Ohio State defense is putting Duke's offense in a blender. They can't do anything, but so far this Manny Diaz defense is doing the same thing to the Buckeyes. Let's see if Sayin can complete this first down and make this drive continue. He's going to find his top target here, Brandon Inniss, who is definitely not his top target. That's why it's called the horseshoe. That's the first time I've seen it from that angle. Sayin hands it off. And that's going to be an easy touchdown for Ohio State. Not much thinking to do there. Touchdown Buckeyes. He's going to do the dance. Hey, 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 yeah. Brutus doing his thing. He's doing a little shuffle. Getting jiggy with it. Good stuff. And that was James Peoples. I did know him. And after that Ohio State score, they didn't really look back, as they are going to defeat the Duke Blue Devils and move on to the Elite Eight. Here we are at Sanford Stadium. He's doing the dance move, our little Bulldog guy here. I don't know if his name is Uga. I obviously know that the real Bulldog is Uga. These fans are excited to see Georgia probably put belt to ass against Tulane here, but you never know. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen in this simulation. And on their previous drive, the Georgia Bulldogs, they were able to go down the field on like a 70-yard play. Now all of a sudden they can go up 10. They were down 24-20. But now they can put Tulane in a really rough spot here. Stockton hands it off to the back, who does not get any yards. He's not having a good game. Nate Frazier, he's going to have to, perform a little bit better once they get later into these rounds, assuming that they come out of this game alive. That's how freaking nasty my MIDI controller is, as he finds a receiver in the flat. They obviously with the touchdown here, as Stockton is going to step back and throw. He's going to move around in the pocket, and somehow he's going to make that catch. I mean, that is a weird little circus catch, but good on them. They are going to make it just a 6-point game. And that kick is up. And he nails it right down the uprights. That was Zachariah Branch. I knew it. Georgia can make this a 2-possession ball game if they just do their jobs here. And then all of a sudden, they will basically ice Tulane out of the game. Can Gunnar Stockton do it? Stockton, pass off. Zachariah Branch, he's going to get it all the way down to the 3-yard line. 453 yards on the day. I mean, if you're Tulane, you really can't stop them. It's really just, you were trying to slow them down enough to where you could maybe somehow pull off a miracle. But it looks like Gunnar Stockton's going to keep it, and he's going to rush it himself for the Georgia touchdown. And just like that, they're going to put themselves ahead, and he's going to do the dance. And the final score of 41-24 maybe doesn't paint how the game actually went, but a 21-0 fourth quarter just makes it just a blowout for Gunnar Stockton and the Bulldogs. And Kirby Smart and this team, they are going to advance. So far, we have not had a single upset in this second round. And no team quite is an example of the modern era of college football like Texas Tech. A team that is bought, a team that was able to have a bunch of money ponied up by one billionaire, and all of a sudden, they're a national title contender. At least we think we are. This was made before any playoff games have been played. We're looking at 1st and goal for Texas Tech again. USC just cannot keep this team out of the end zone when they get down here in the red zone. Is that Morton in the game? It looks like it, and he is not going to connect with his receiver. Baron Morton showing clear frustration with his receiver on that play. Oh, it's Cody Campbell. That's the name of the billionaire. It's right there on the field. Baron Morton to throw again, and he's going to find his receiver for the touchdown, and that mascot loved it. He's going to salute the crowd and say, "Thank you all for coming." And he's going to do his little dance. He's going to dance with his mustache. And yeah, after that touchdown, it was all Texas Tech, as we will still not see an upset here in the second round. Baron Morton, 47.5% completion percentage is god-awful, but it's enough to get them the win. Here we are in one of the most electric atmospheres in all of college football, Autzen Stadium, with Donald Duck in green clothes, as it'll be the Oregon Ducks. Dan Lanning, Dante Moore, the most stacked running back room in the entire country. I've been here quite a few times. It is quite the place to play. It is quite the place to go if you're an away fan, and it is quite the place to go if you're an away band member, because you don't feel safe. And down 4 points here in Eugene. Well, the Vanderbilt Commodores, they are down at the 13-yard line, 2nd and 6. They have a chance to take the lead with a touchdown here. Pavia, back to throw, into the flat. That's not going to go anywhere. That's going to go backwards. Pavia looking for an answer here. He doesn't even know where his receivers are, and he's going to find his receiver. And an easy throw here. Just kidding. That was one of the hardest throws I've ever seen. He gets it out to Hudson, and just like that, Vanderbilt has taken the lead. And all of a sudden, Oregon's like, are we ever going to get past the second round of the playoffs in our entire lives? After a Vanderbilt fumble here, now Oregon finds himself in the red zone at the 11-yard line, 1st and 10. Dante Moore, can he get this done? You got Noah Whittington in the backfield. I'm going to know a little bit more about this team because I'm from the state. I used to be an Oregon fan until I was like 18. Then I went to Oregon State. Moore, play action, steps up in the pocket, and hits a Vanderbilt defender right in the back. And they elect to kick the field goal. And that's a tie football game from Atticus Sappington, the former Beaver. Traitor. Dante Moore, he needs a big first down pickup here. Dan Lanning looking right at him. He's going to find his receiver, and he's going to drop the pass. He's going to get him all the way into 1st and goal. And just like that, Oregon, once again, looking to try to tie up this football game. But really, they need to stop. I feel like the offense is doing what they are supposed to be doing. The defense just cannot do anything. Dante Moore going to keep it. He's not known as a runner. He'll get a couple yards. He's got -2, or would that be -0.5 a yard? Yeah, -0.5 a yard per carry is crazy work for Dante Moore. 2 minutes. We'll see if they get a playoff before the 2-minute warning. I would assume they... Oh, wow, they did. Noah Whittington. Up the gut. Is that touching? No, it was a 2-minute warning. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. And Dante Moore hands it off to Whittington again. And that is an easy Oregon touchdown. Touchdown Ducks. The train horn is going. Noah Whittington. He's going to salute the crowd. They only do 2 things. They either salute or they do that little dance. And Puddles, he's got that little thing on his arm. Good for him. He's got 2 of them. And after a 15-yard roughing the passer penalty by the Oregon defense, Vanderbilt's all the way at the 42-yard line, and they're in a good position to maybe get into field goal range, kick the game-winning field goal, and move on to the Elite Eight. This would be our first upset of the second round. We're going to get 4 yards. Cedric Alexander not having the best game. But this Oregon defense, they have a lot of talent. This Oregon crowd, one of the loudest in the entire sport. And Vanderbilt, they had the catch, and the Oregon defensive back, he's just going to be able to bring it down. Pavia going to take one last shot. Can he get closer into field goal range? He's going to send it all the way up to the end zone. And that's a Vanderbilt touchdown. It's caught. That is a touchdown for Vanderbilt. And he's going to do his little dance. Yeah. And we have seen multiple mossings throughout all of these different games. And that one, the biggest one so far, Richie Hoskins mossing the Oregon defender off of a beautiful ball by Diego Pavia. Just like that, the Ducks, they're going to choke in the postseason again. We could be looking at a really rough situation for this Oregon offense. Luckily, Dante Moore has a rocket, and he's going to throw a screen. Get out of bounds. They did not get out of bounds. They called the timeout. Puddles is doing a little dance. He's anxious, though. You can tell. He's a scared little kid right now. One time, Puddles made one of my friends cry, and then after that, Puddles went and hugged her because he felt bad. Dante back to pass again. They cannot keep doing these little checkdowns. All right. And another checkdown. It's like the CPU in Play Now has no situational awareness, whereas like if you were in Dynasty and this game was happening, Dante Moore would know not to do that. But here we are. Here's Moore. He's going to make a nice throw all the way down to the 35-yard line. And now Oregon, really, they could do something here. I mean, that is a really nice first down. Is that Kenyon Sadiq? Yes, it is. He's one of my favorite players in all of college football. He is just such a dynamic playmaker. He's going to be a stud in the NFL once he gets there. Dante Moore, he's going to send it out of bounds. Probably the best thing he could have done there. Does Dante have one more trick up his sleeve? We'll see. Moore back to throw. He's going to heave it. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. He will get one more shot at the end zone. And it all comes down to this play right here. The arm of Dante Moore, the hands of these Oregon receivers. He drops back. He sends the ball up. No time left on the clock. There's a flag on the play. We're going to probably get an untimed down here. It's focusing on the Vanderbilt defensive back. That means we are going to see a pass interference on the defense, which means that they are going to get the ball at the 20. 5 receivers out wide. Dante Moore looks to the end zone. Another flag. And they are going to catch the same defensive back one more time for a pass interference. He is throwing the game. I feel like he has money on there. And now it's 1st and goal from the 5. They have given up 30 yards of penalties in 2 plays. And now Oregon, 5 yards away. All they have to do is get the 5 yards. Can they do it? Dante sends Whittington out. Dante back to throw. Finds its receiver in the end zone. That's an Oregon touchdown. And just like that, DeCorian Moore and Dante Moore, they are going for 2. They don't want this game to go beyond this. They are ending the shit right now. Dante back to throw. 2-point conversion, and Oregon's gonna win the football game. Oregon's gonna win the football game. Oh my God! And Puddles, he cannot believe what he's seeing. And we still remain upsetless as Oregon does one of the most insane comebacks I've ever seen off of just the backs of the penalties of number 4 on the Vanderbilt defense. Whoever you are, I'm sorry. I hope you don't play like that in real life. And we're traveling down to Oxford for a program that has seen a lot of turmoil, especially because of that head coach right there, Lane Kiffin. In this universe, he is going to be coaching the team. And after a 53-yard scoop all the way down into the red zone, Ole Miss has the opportunity to make this a 20-7 ball game. A 2-possession game here early in the 4th quarter. I think they're being let out by Trinidad Chambliss. I would assume that the depth chart has that correct. But this Texas defense is great. It's what's kept them in most games this year when Arch has been struggling. And they're going to fumble, and they're going to pick up the ball. And after some shenanigans, we are now looking at Texas, who kicked a field goal. And all of a sudden, they now have the lead. But I have a feeling that Ole Miss is going to go for it on this 4th and 2 here. Oh, no, they're kicking the field goal. Their kicker's wearing number 89. Very good. Kick is up. It's good. And Ole Miss reclaims their lead. And as we approach 2nd and 10, little over 2 minutes left, Texas has 1 timeout. They really just got to get about 30, 40 yards out. 2nd and 10, and they're gonna get all the way to 3rd and 3. Okay, Arch is not having a good game. Manning calling audibles. Manning back to throw. He finds his receiver all the way down to the 35. They, I think, are in comfortable position right now. It's where they think they might be able to just ease down a little bit further down the field, get themselves a game-winning field goal. Manning, once again, back to throw. Finds the receiver again. It's another 1st down. These stoppages of the clock are kind of helping Ole Miss a little bit. But they have to feel really good about where they're at. They're within the 25. Manning back to throw again. He needs to just play mistake-free football here. And now Ole Miss is going to start calling their timeouts. Manning most likely hoping not for a 1st down. That is about as good as it can get because now Ole Miss is going to have to milk that clock. And they are just even closer. They're at the 16-yard line. So far, Sark, Arch Manning, and the boys, they are just executing this about as best as they could. And they're going to find the receiver, and that is a touchdown. Maybe a little bit too quickly. Probably not what they should have done, but maybe they just don't want to put the game in the foot of their kicker. Trinidad Chambliss back to throw. Finds a receiver in the crossing route, and they need to hurry it up. And I think the problem with the play now slow sim is that they don't know how to do hurry up offense, and they just lose clock because honestly, I think Texas is going to win this game just off of clock shenanigans from the play now. Chambliss, panicking, sends it deep, finds his receiver, and it's a flag on the play. Pass interference, another pass interference that is going to dictate an outcome of a game, possibly. Chambliss gets it out to his receiver, and Ole Miss going to call their final timeout, 38 seconds. They have half the length of the football field to go. Chambliss back to throw again. Finds his receiver on the outside. Gets 6 of the 7 yards he needs. Lane Kiffin and Trinidad, they need to make that same decision here. Chambliss. Another check down. It's a first down, but once again, they don't know how to do hurry up. And so they are going to lose clock. There it is. They're already losing clock. And I really hope they can get another play off. 22 seconds. Okay, at least that didn't have a runoff. I mean, sometimes it does. Trinidad back to throw. He's going to step up. He's going to launch it. And it's going to be out of the hands of the DB, maybe even the receiver. We could have seen like that Auburn play where they did that thing where against Georgia. You know what I'm talking about? It was like 2013 when they had that, and then they had the kick 6 in the same season, and then they got to the title and lost to Jameis. 12 seconds. Does Trinidad have any miracles in him? He's going to send it up again. Finds a receiver. 5 seconds. They are not going to get another playoff, though. That's the problem. Because of the stupid system, you're going to see it right now. 3, 2, 1. Game over. And that is how the game is going to end. And that if the AI worked in play now, Ole Miss, they would have a chance. Instead, we will see our second upset of the second round. And one of the coolest environments in all of college football, Kyle Field, home of Texas A&M. The amount of insane football that we have seen in this stadium. Oh, they got a little dog. Look at that thing. So cool. And I love their fight song because it's that one, it's like an old tune from back in the day. I don't know what you'd call it. Can Carson Beck do it? Beck hands it off to the back. Now, oh, wow. He's going to get all the way to 1st and goal from the 1. Fletcher having himself an absolute game. Love the mascot just dancing right over there. Here comes Beck. Tight end in motion. Hands it off to Fletcher. Fletcher, easy touchdown. Miami now within 1 score after being down 21-0. And here goes the dance. Hey. Don't hit the pole, bruh. And it's all going to come down to this final drive here for the Miami Hurricanes. Down 7, 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go. They can tie things up here. They drive all the way down the field. 62 yards. There he goes. And they're going to get that first down. And that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Changing things at the line. Receiver in motion. Play action. And he's going to find the completion, and it's going to be 2nd and inches. They need to hurry back to the line, but of course they're not able to do that. Beck, once again, there's icons missing on it, but he's going to find his receiver, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds, and that's going to stop the clock. Oh shit, he's frozen. Is he dead? Don't show the replay. That's the most gruesome play I've ever seen in my life. Bro is stuck on the ground. Look, he got stuck. Are we going to get an update on him? Or we just going to assume that he's gone? Comes back once again. Bad throw by Carson Beck. What are you doing, kid? And Carson Beck looking to recover after such a bad throw. Play action for no reason. And they're going to find the receiver for the first down all the way to the 25. And there goes Alex Bauman. Oh, no. And And that's going to be a completion, but that's not going to be enough. The clock is going to run. Maybe that's their intent. Maybe they're playing for overtime here. They don't want to give the ball back to Marcel Reed, Colin Klein, and this Texas A&M offense. Minute left to go. Beck, once again, going to put the ball in his hands. He's going to get the first down. They're going to call their second of 3 timeouts. There's Beck. Little midline screen, spin move, and that's going to be a 1st and goal. And just like that, they are 2 yards away from possibly setting up a game-tying point after. Carson Beck playing with an incredible clutch gene. Some believe he can't do it. But look at that spin move. I mean, that's textbook. Yeah, that's exactly what I would have did. Hand it off to Fletcher. Fletcher, he's going to be stopped behind the line, and they are going to call their last timeout. It would be like to eat the juicy fruit in my hand that I've been playing around with. It's all dusty because I've been cleaning dust with it. I'm weird. And Carson Beck going to keep it himself. Ball's going to come out, and it's going to fall into the hands of Tony. And I guess that's how it works, and he's going to do his dance. Just like that, they are 1 point away from tying up this football game.
21.
Now, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen in these last few games. When it looks like they're too far away from the end zone, they pull off a Moss, and then they pull off another Moss, and then things just get out of hand. Marcel Reed, can he do the same? He's going to take off, and he's going to... They're not going to call the timeout, which makes me think they're playing for overtime. Reed, boot, couple yard gain on the play. We've got 5 wide receivers for Marcel Reed. He's going to obviously step back to throw. He's going to find a receiver on the crosser. 2 yards at most. I don't even know if that was 2 yards. I wasn't paying attention to what the second down yard marker was. In the pistol, play action boot once again. And he's going to throw it away, and they are going to go for the field goal attempt. Which means Miami is likely going to be able to win this game with a touchdown. But also, they still got to make this field goal. And that's not a guarantee. Kick is good, but the Hurricanes, they can complete their comeback if they get a touchdown right here. Beck hands off to Fletcher. Fletcher all the way down to the 13-yard line. They get a first down on the first play. A&M didn't get a first down at all. Oh God, he's coming to wreck things. Beck on the crosser, 3 yards. In the pistol, Beck hands it to Fletcher. Fletcher finds the hole, 3rd and 1 from the 4-yard line. I think they're one good Fletcher handoff from a touchdown and a win here. And honestly, with how good Fletcher's been playing this game, I think he might win the game right here on this next touch. Beck, he's back to throw. Touchdown. And that is going to be the game as Miami is going to win this game. I just took a screenshot on accident. But Miami is going to end this game in overtime and advance to the Elite Eight. That is our 3rd upset in a row. And here we are headed to Norman, Oklahoma. They're going to play like a champion today in their Unity alternates as they will face Alabama. There's the wagon, the Conestoga, Oregon Trail. Shout out Oregon.
Wow.
And our only blowout of the second round as Oklahoma is going to belt to ass the Alabama Crimson Tide in the rematch. They go 2-0 against them in the season. Our matchups are going to be set for our Elite Eight in college football. And he likes to smoke it through the filter. We have Curt Cignetti and this insane Indiana team, the #1 seed in the country, looking to prove why they are the #1 seed against the lowest seed left in the tournament, the 13 seed, Arch Manning, the Texas Longhorns. We've got the Heisman winner, Fernando Mendoza. We've got maybe the most hyped quarterback in the preseason, Arch Manning. And yeah, just nothing to say here about this one. Curt Cignetti does what he does when he gets put under pressure, blows teams out. And just like that, Indiana headed to their first Final Four in program history. And we're back at the Horseshoe for some Elite Eight action. Ryan Day, the defending national champions, look to keep their repeat hopes alive as they will take on the hot Miami Hurricanes. They had a rough first round, but that second round, they had a big comeback after being down 21-0 at the start of the fourth quarter against Texas A&M. They're feeling good. They're feeling great, but so is Ohio State. And one winner gets to move on from the Elite Eight, move on to the Final Four. Now, wouldn't that be great? And it looked like maybe Miami could hang in there, but Ohio State gonna move right on. They will play at home no matter what. And so we now have our 2 home games. Somebody's playing Indiana and somebody's playing Ohio State. We'll see who that is, as we have an SEC game, a rematch of the Rose Bowl from all those years ago. Baker Mayfield took on the Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, it'll be Oklahoma traveling to Athens in our next matchup. And here's Georgia rocking their black uniforms. Kirby Smart looking for his 3rd national championship with the Georgia program. Seems like the frame rate has dropped. Okay, it's good. It's just like the Sanford Stadium. Not sure why. I was really hoping it would be a blackout. There's a good boy. And a first down here would get the Bulldogs right into the red zone with a great opportunity to try to, make this a much tighter game. And as you can see, it's going to be a flag on the defense. I think they're going to decline that penalty. And now Georgia, the number 3 seed, going to hand it off to the back. He's going to push his way through all the way down to the 2-yard line. Now, this Oklahoma defense is stout. And if they can just keep Georgia off the scoreboard and they can just do enough so that John Mateer can at least fight for his life out there, then I think that they can win this football game. Stockton running under center, and they do not even come close to getting that stop. And after a score off of a turnover that I didn't show you, Georgia, they are going to waltz right in, and they are going to be headed to Ohio State in the next round, which means that the winner of Texas Tech and Oregon will have to go to face the number 1 seed, Indiana. And Texas Tech, the final team representing the Big 12, they would like to make it to the Final Four. In Oregon, they'd like to make it there for the first time since 2014. Can it be done? We'll see. This is 2 teams of big money. Got Phil Knight versus the guy whose name I keep forgetting. It's on the field of Texas Tech. Cody Campbell, that's his name. And I mean, this is another game where it's just like, what is there to tell y'all? Oregon wins by 40 points en route to setting up a rematch against Indiana. And who knows, maybe this time we will see actual Indiana football played as they take probably their most formidable foe on yet. That's the Oregon Ducks. They gave it their all against Vanderbilt, and then they absolutely blew the crap out of Texas Tech in their own building. It's a rematch of the regular season game that happened in Autzen, this time here in Bloomington. As we enter this 4th quarter, Oregon has a 17-point lead over this Indiana team, who is going to just turn the ball over here on downs, and all of a sudden, Oregon could go up 31-7 and make this a very, very difficult lead for Indiana to get back out of. Here comes Dante Moore and the boys. 3rd and 8, Moore drops back, hits the back in the flat. Indiana down 20, 1st and goal. And the Heisman winner just has to do what Heisman winners do, and that's be outstanding. This team's faced a lot of adversity. Here comes Mendoza. And that's going to be 2nd and goal as he tries to reach across the plane, and he's not going to get it. 2nd and goal from the 1. I would do a snap to the QB, let Mendoza run it in. And they're going to do a little quick option throw there, and he's going to salute the crowd. It's going to be 27-14 in the comeback. Well, let's see if it begins right here. Indiana fighting for their lives. A trip to the national championship on the line. Oregon's been there twice, lost it both times. Mendoza dropping back to throw, 3rd and 20. He has all day in the pocket. He's going to run forward. He's going to take off, and he's going to make a terrible decision. Rush for 3 yards. And just like that, Mendoza now has to convert a 4th and 17. It's all or nothing here for the Indiana Hoosiers. If they lose, or if they don't convert this 3rd down, it is over. Mendoza finds a receiver, and it is going to be deflected. And Oregon will head back to the national championship. Will it be Ohio State again? Or will they face Georgia, where we will get to see master versus apprentice Dan Lanning against Kirby Smart. We will find out here in our next matchup. And the last time these two teams played, Noah Ruggles missed a field goal super far to the left as the clock turned into 2023, I believe. And Georgia would go on to win the national championship over TCU in the most brutal blowout I've ever seen in a title game. This time, we are in a snowy Columbus, Ohio. Probably the top two coaches in the entire country facing off against each other. And this game has more than lived up to the hype. We have a shootout, as they have been trading scores throughout the entire game. 31-28 Georgia, and they are in the red zone. They have a chance to make this a 10-point game. And they're going to run the QB sneak, and it's not going to work. Likely kicking the field goal here. I'm just going to sim past it. Just kidding, I missed my opportunity. And they're going to kick the field goal. So let's see how this goes. Kick is up. And there's a flag on the Ohio State defense. Is that going to give them a first down? And that's going to give Georgia a first down. Stockton hands it off to the back. He's going to stiff arm and he's going to break a tackle and be brought down. Nate Frazier having a pretty damn good game. A little less than 8 yards per carry tonight. Stockton lining up under center, hands it off to Frazier. Frazier going to be brought down in the backfield, but we have a flag on the play, and it's going to be a holding on the Georgia offensive lineman, Mr. Bobo. Getting an ass chewing for maybe your dad after the game for a bad play there. And a spin move, and that is going to be a Georgia touchdown. And that is one hell of a play. Holy moly, and Nate Frazier saying, "Come at me, crowd." That's right, you're not talking anymore. And can the Buckeyes stage a comeback here in the college football playoff semifinals? Their repeat national championship hopes hanging in the balance. And there goes Julian Sayin down. Sayin alone in the backfield. Back to throw. Finds his receiver all the way down to the 25. 4th and 3. Ryan Day seems like the type of coach that would go for it here. And yep, there comes the Ohio State offense. Julian Sayin under center. Receiver in motion. Hand off to the back, and he's going to be stopped. And Bo Jackson, that's going to be the end of that. I'd be curious to see what Georgia's going to do here on this 4th and 2. They are in Ohio State territory. A first down gets them a win. Or do they take the long field goal? They are going to go for the long field goal to make it even harder for Ohio State. Kick is up. Quite the long one for a college kicker. But it's good. That is a 10-point ball game. And Ohio State, they can't muster anything. In Georgia, they're going to punch their ticket to the national championship, where they will play the Oregon Ducks in meeting up in our national championship venue for the Rose Bowl. It is the Georgia Bulldogs taking on the Oregon Ducks. Both teams have played in a Rose Bowl fairly recently. Oregon playing in it more recently, if I remember. Yes, they played in it last year when they lost to Ohio State. Oregon trying to win their first national championship in program history. Kirby Smart trying to beat his understudy. See the Oregon faithful coming down from Eugene and the Portland area. Probably a lot of Oregon grads in LA, I would assume, as well. Here to support their team, but this Georgia defense and this Georgia crowd, they are alive too. Dante Moore finds his receiver all the way down to the 3-yard line, and Oregon's going to have an injured offensive lineman. Moore hands it off to Mekhi Hughes. He's actually getting play time here. I know he redshirted in real life. Takes the ball, hands it off to Noah Whittington. He's going to be brought down for a loss, tackled by Everett. Moore alone in the backfield. Drops back, finds a receiver on the crossing route. Not going to do much. Kicking the field goal. Kick is up. And it is good. Oregon's going to take the first lead of this game, 3-0 from Atticus Sappington's leg. Should have never left Oregon State, bro. I miss you. There's Stockton. Hands it off to Frazier. Easiest touchdown you're going to get. Bulldogs take the lead right back. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. After an 18-yard completion to Kyler Casper, Oregon now in the red zone, 1st and goal at the 10 here. Moore. He's going to find his receiver. Quick 4-yard gain. That's going to set up Oregon with 2nd and 6. Dante Moore, he's going to step back to throw, and he's going to get sacked by the linebacker. C.J. Allen comes in off the blitz, unblocked. And there's that song. Super intimidating. The Georgia fan base, they're going to be going crazy for this sack here. And he just comes in and just wallops Dante Moore. You can't say much bad things about that, at least on the Georgia side of things. Moore, 3rd and goal, back to throw. He's going to toss it up, and it's going to be batted down, and they are going to take the field goal. They have the opportunity to make the most brain rot score that we have seen since 9-6. And there it is. We're going to check in back with this Georgia offense, as a Nate Frazier play is going to get them at 3rd and 5, right at the end of the red zone here at the 20. 1st down gets them fully into the red zone. Stockton, and that was a good play. I don't know if they got that 1st down. Will we have brain rot no more? Answer is yes. And in 3 plays, this Oregon offense has gotten all the way up to the red zone, looking to take the lead before halftime. Moore, play action, throws it, gets it out to the receiver, all the way down to the 1-yard line. There goes Noah Whittington. He's not going to get it in the eye for him. We are going to see Dante Moore hand it off to Mekhi Hughes. Mekhi Hughes is going to break into the end zone. Touchdown Ducks as they take the lead right before the end of the 1st half. Puddle's acting all creepy. Save that stuff for Oski, buddy. Oski's the scariest mascot out there. After a couple defensive stops, we are about halfway through the 3rd quarter. Georgia finds himself back in the red zone. Stockton hands off to Frazier. Frazier tries to make a cut. It's not going to work. He's going to be brought down for a gain of nothing. And to make sure my audio is still recording, it looks like it is. Frazier gets a yard. And as you can see, the Georgia offense is going to line up 5 wide here. Send a receiver back in motion. That's going to be Zachariah Branch. He's going to be in the backfield. Stockton throws the ball, finds his man, and that's going to be a touchdown for Georgia as they reclaim that lead. He's doing his little waddle, taunting the Oregon fandom. And here we are with another Oregon red zone trip. The very next drive, it was a long, methodical drive. We've got 3 minutes left in the 3rd. Dante, back to throw, gets the ball out to Mekhi Hughes, and Mekhi Hughes is going to get 9 yards, and Jordan Hall for Georgia is down. 2nd and 1, split back formation. Dante keeps it himself, fumbles the ball, picked up by the lineman, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 3, as now they're going to line up in the pistol. I feel like this is going to be a handoff to Whittington. There it is. And Noah's not going to get anything on the play. Got a very heavy formation by the Ducks. I feel like they're going to pass it, though. Yep. Pass out of the heavy formation to the tight end, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Oregon Ducks as they're going to retake the lead, and he's going to waddle right on back. Said, you want to waddle? Well, guess what? We waddle better. And the Duck, he's planning some nefarious stuff. Look at him. He looks kind of scary. After some more antics, and I believe there was an Oregon turnover in there, we're at about 9.5 minutes left in the game. They're up 20-17, and they are back in the red zone. They can make this a 2-possession lead and really put a cushion and feel a little bit better about their national championship hopes. He's going to slide Whittington in motion. Dante's going to toss it back, and that's going to be a screen. Whittington is going to take it. Oh, he's flapping around. Gain of 6. Here we are in the pistol. Play action boot. Dante, he's going to find his receiver. And that's going to be a touchdown right off the bat. He's doing his dance. That's Kenyon Sadiq. And Georgia looking to cut into the lead, get right back into this game with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go. They're going to send the tight end in motion. Snap to Stockton. Stockton is going to throw it. He's going to find his man right in the end zone. It's a 1-play touchdown right there. Number 4, Oscar Delp. He has been his favorite target here in this game. And now the Georgia Bulldogs only going to be down a field goal, assuming the PAT goes through. And all Dante Moore has to get is 4 yards. What will offensive coordinator Will Stein draw up? And will Glenn Schumann counter it? Moore back to throw. Finds his receiver. I believe that's DeCorian Moore. Yes, it was. Another big third down opportunity for this Bulldog defense. This time 3rd and long, 8 yards away. But the Oregon fans, they could taste it. They could feel it. They know that they are a couple first downs away from getting their first title. As Dante drops back, a lot of pressure. He's going to find his receiver. And there's Oregon lining up in the victory formation. Moore takes the knee. I guess the game's not over because they did poor clock management, but they should have easily gotten all 2 minutes of this off. But they're going to give the ball back to Georgia with basically no time left. So unless they return the kickoff for a touchdown, if Georgia cannot get this kickoff return, then the Oregon Ducks are going to win the national championship. 2 seconds left. Will they do anything with it? Branch is going to bring it out. It's all on him, and it's going to be over. And Oregon, they're going to win the national championship, their first in school history, and it's at the Rose Bowl, a place where they have succeeded and failed. They lose to Ohio State in 2009. They beat Wisconsin in 2012. They beat Florida State in 2014. They beat Wisconsin again in 2019. And then they lose to Ohio State last season. But now, Rose Bowl champions, national champions. That's going to be the video. I really wanted to do the 2014 playoff, not because I generally support it for college football, although if things keep headed where they are with teams opting out of bowl games, I think you have to increase the postseason and get rid of bowl games or get rid of as many of them as possible. And this just kind of shows you what it would be like. College football 26 is not real life. I think there would be a lot more blowouts than this, but it's just a fun experience. And doing tournaments in this game is super fun. So keep an eye out for more tournaments. There will be some fun stuff like that coming up. Well, thank you guys all for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed what you saw here. Please subscribe if you want to see more. And of course, cheers.